Hi everyone, today I'm making the sound test on the Pioneer SX 1500TD, and I start the video from the back of the receiver because you have very unique options on this receiver, very unique. So just for general specs, I'm gonna put more specs in the bottom, but just to general is 58 watts per channel in 8 ohms. Frequency response are kind of impressive, very impressive, 10 hertz to 100 kilohertz, and damping factor is 50. So you have a very nice specs for a vintage receiver. Well, that is just the beginning. So, vintage receiver, they have a tape record output and all of that. And this one have actually two phono inputs and another auxiliary. And that's the section for the tuner that they have. Excellent tuner, really nice to listen for radio. I mean, FM or AM sections, they're very good. You get many stations, very many stations, and is very accurate as well. You don't hear too much noises when you listen for tuner. Is very clean. The vocals and the speech have kind of creamy sound. It sounds very creamy and also very full and thick. So it have a really nice sound for tuner and also for music. But anyway, I want to show you the thing that are interesting with this receiver. So we have center channel output. So we don't see many of that with other receivers. Even modern receivers no have this option. Stereo, because this is stereo receiver. This is not surround receiver, so that's why it's kind of impressive. Number two, pay attention for the video camera please. Main amp in. Number three, preamp out. So we're talking about the receiver that actually with these options that you have with the main power in and preamplifier out, we're talking about receiver that can do pretty much everything. So is more than a receiver. More than receiver, you can use it for many things. Well, now I'm going to show you the front, and as you see, this is a real wood. Oh, and you know what? I forgot to show you one more thing. If you get this receiver, make sure, because the speaker, where you connect the speaker cables, you have a special adapter. You see, this is the adapter. Let me take this thing out to show you. This is the adapter, at least with this receiver, but I guess all the other receivers are pretty much supposed to be the same. So you need to get this adapter so you can connect the speaker cables. And of course, you're gonna need two of them, at least two, to connect two speakers. And that's the way it looks in the front. Real wood, green light and a blue light. And the guy that actually sold me this thing, that was long ago, really long ago. He said to me that this receiver been serviced, and you know what? There's no cracking noise or anything with this receiver. And this is the tuner is on. Well, vintage receiver are pretty much the same options in the front. Not all the time is the same options, but it's pretty much basic stuff. Loudness, step monitor, balance. So you can see by yourself. And this is on flat position. And the sound, even on flat, the sound is fantastic from this receiver. Because if I'm listening for a radio or for music, the sound is very rich and very full and very clear. But the one thing that the bass control is not fantastic. Because even though that is powerful, but probably you need to use, or is better to use, speakers with sensitivity that is about 88 decibels and above, but still, even the speakers that I use that they are less than 88 decibels, the receiver push them in decent way. But I'm gonna make a sound demo with this receiver very soon, and you can listen for the music. I'm online right now to see the owner manual of this Pioneer receiver, and I'm very amazed the amount of information that you can find from the owner's manual of this receiver. I mean, is extremely detailed. Every little thing in this receiver is over here. Every tiny little thing. Yeah, so if you have this receiver, you definitely want to download these pages, because there's probably more things that you can do with this receiver than you even think that you can do. And I plug my clip speakers right here. This is a mid-fi speaker, not exactly hi-fi speaker. And the one thing that I was very impressed that this receiver did with these clip speakers. Well, let me put this thing on. Okay, this is on. Where is the volume knob? Over here. Is if I connect this clip to regular receiver, mid-fi receiver, usually the tweeter right here, it doesn't, I mean, you have a nice sound and all of that, but it never sound like is separate the details very well. I mean, it's separated decently, but all the time the tweeter sounds like one thing, like a one piece. But when I increase the highs on this Pioneer, when I increase the highs, the amount of space and the air that is separate between the high frequencies was stunning, just stunning, and the sound is excellent. The sound is excellent. Look how many connections you can do with these Pioneers. And you connect your microphone. You can make the microphone over here, and you can use it for a mix with the microphone. Yeah, it's very impressive receiver, very impressive. And okay, so I increased the highs. Okay, this is on flat. Very sweet sound. Before, if I use it for standard receiver, for AV receiver or something like this, the sound of the mid and the highs was pretty much in the same area. Now, when I'm using this Pioneer, the highs are sound higher and the mid sounds lower, the way it's supposed to be. So you see how much is important to use the right receiver for the speakers. I moved the cover. I moved the wood cover, and this is 4 screws, flat screws. You need to have a flat screwdriver like this one. And a guy that sell me this receiver, he said to me that this receiver got service, and you see it's pretty clean. It's pretty clean. And he said he paid like $300. That's why probably one of the reasons I don't have any scratchy noise or anything with the controls and the inputs. And look how easy it's gonna be to replace the bulbs with this receiver. Very easy. And here, if you see, I think this guy that serviced this receiver make this thing over here. You see if I make a focus. Yeah, I don't think Pioneer making such an ugly job. And this is the wood case right here. Very nice, still in a good shape. Pretty thick. Yeah, it's pretty thick, this wood. Yeah, very nice receiver with many features and many options, and you have a really nice sound and is decent power. And I'm very happy with this receiver that I have. You know, all the time I like to get new stuff, and many times I never like to get rid of my stuff, and I like to keep it. So this is probably going to be one of the things that I'm going to keep, this Pioneer.
What it is now.